right, guys, how's it going? Just wanted to welcome everybody to the third episode of the Angry Advocate podcast. My name is Ed. I am the guitar player in Death's Hand and owner of Advocate Media.
And hi, everyone. Welcome back. I am Ash of Angry Ginger Photography. So excited to have you on episode 3 of our podcast. This week, we are joined by Matt Connolly. He is the guitar player for Euclid and drummer of Shapethrower.
What's up, man?
What up?
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
Much appreciated. Number 3, dude. Third time's the charm.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's the plan. So yeah, really, really happy to have you on the podcast. Again, kind of going to beat a dead horse, but I think like I said, the fun part about this is being able to meet, at least for me, is being able to meet new people, talk to new people, and just like, I don't know, learn about new people. And it's the one thing I try to do with this, the way Ashley and I have this set up is she kind of comes up with the questions, she kind of plans who's on. And so she knows some people. At some point, there'll be people who I want to have on that she won't know. But I try to do like no research on the person that's coming on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like just to kind of like, because I feel like that's kind of, I don't know. It makes me appreciate it more instead of like going into it being like a preconceived notion. It's just like now it's just like I could like, you know, I've heard a small part of, you know, the music video that we're about to play, but other than that, like that's it, you know. So I just think it's really cool to kind of just like learn about people on the spot live, you know.
For sure.
So yeah, I really appreciate you coming on, and I think it's going to be a good time. So I
was hyped when she hit me up. I fucking love this shit. So
yeah,
I'm very happy to be here for sure.
Yeah, it's fun. This is definitely a fun venture that I think we're both kind of getting a good amount out of. I'm having a great time, and I know
Absolutely.
Ash is having
a good time. A lot of fun doing this and getting
hell yeah,
people on another aspect is awesome. But now we're gonna progress into showing Matt's band Shapethrowers, one of their new music videos, Death Dealer.
Yeah. Let's jump this on here and play it.
Roll call. Bring 'em out, wind 'em up. Orders from the authoritarian. Holy shit, the time has come. A violent debut of executions. What description you seem to me? Walked without a goddamn sign of grief. Staring down the barrel of a gun with a bullet in the chamber. Doesn't matter, there's nowhere to run. You're about to meet your maker. Fire away. Unjustified.
Awesome. That's sick. That's really freaking cool. Yeah.
I'm definitely
I'd love to hear more about how it was doing that music video. Kyle Mack recorded it and everything, right?
No. Actually, it's hilariously, it's my wife's ex-boyfriend who I was friends with a very long time ago.
That's hilarious.
And he does music videos with this other kid, Michael, who's very talented. His Instagram's Sinwave, like SINWAV.
Interesting.
Him and Mike, who I know, they're both named Michael, but Mike that I know much closer, do videos that I just like their style. And they mostly do like more like rap and hip hop stuff, if I'm being honest. That's like where most of their portfolio lies. But he posted a video that was like kind of like the vibe that I was hoping to go for, and he did it. I I really just hired just him, and he brought the other Michael with him, and I was like, damn, that's sick, because he's also incredibly talented. He helped a lot with this video. But Mike, the one that I know closer, did the other music video entirely himself.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's
It sounds great. I was gonna say I really like the kind of the concept and idea of where it's at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. It's kind of cool, and I like having like the stacked cabs like next to the bass, and it just like I don't know. It's very small space, but I think it was well utilized. You know what I mean? It looks like it was very well utilized. So
for sure, and that's like the biggest compliment to me what you just said, because that's like exactly what I was going for. So
yeah, well, it's hard too because like I shot the music video for my band Death's Hand, the last one that we just put out, which was kind of I had to I had to, I got stuck, and it's the first music video that I
feel your pain.
Yeah, it was the first one that I had ever shot and ever released ever. So it was kind of one of those things where it was like, it was like do or die situation.
I was like, doing that for your own band too is like, God, that's the worst.
Yeah, it was not the most fun, like, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I think the way I explained it last time was when I'm in a situation and I feel like I'm, pushed up against a wall, I have to do it. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, like my emotions go out the window, like everything goes out the window. It just like, I have to do what I have to do to make this work. And, whatever that is, like, I'll do it. You know what I mean? And then
in a trailer, you make it work.
Exactly. And it's just like,
dude, I can feel that.
Yeah. And I mean, I think, I don't know. I think the lighting in it looked really cool.
Fuck yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. It looked really nice. That's
we
the one
did
thing.
We did a bunch of takes with strobe, and that was like so fucking like disorienting. Like trying to play drums with like just a strobe light in pitch blackness, like is like, it's so jarring visually. It was crazy, but it obviously it made the video. Those are the best shots that we got, are all the strobe shots.
Yeah.
It's with the tremolo. It like works with the tremolo in the song and stuff like that. Like it's sick. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun to work with video, and I don't know, especially when it's with your own music, like, because I feel like it's just like another layer to, I don't know, portray what you want to portray with the song, like it's like it's that extra like, okay, cool, we have, whatever you have. If people have synth in the song, and people have whatever they have in the song, right? They're like, we want to add layers, and then you just add that visual layer. It's just that one extra thing that can kind of, push, your music video or like your song to that next level. So yeah, that's super cool. It was awesome. Super hard too. I just like the overall feeling. So it was fun.
Good. That's the best, dude. Thank you, much appreciated.
Yeah, not a problem.
We thought we were gonna get fucking. So we just we ran like Google ads and stuff for that, and I've had like with Euclid, I had unfortunately like rough luck. Our Google ad campaign got denied by YouTube because the video was like too gory, apparently, which is like, I mean, it literally it's originally it was a video of us shot in the woods, and then we had the whole video put through this dude Wizardhead is like an AI genius, and he made a crazy video out of our video in AI, and like everything looks like gory, but like not a single gory thing actually occurs in the video.
Interesting.
It's just like the physical textures and stuff. So this fucking Death Dealer video has like people getting shot like and shit. Like I was like pretty like ready, and that one's fine. That one, we've had no issues.
That's so crazy.
Actually, that's not true. We got age restricted in one day. We got age restricted, and then we appealed the age restriction, and their like solution was to just take the whole video down. So our whole video was down for like 3 or 4 hours. We reappealed it, and it got put back up with no age restriction. We got so fucking lucky.
That's so weird.
Awesome.
So
yeah,
crazy.
I mean that is awesome.
Yeah, it's fucking sick. But like, it was crazy because there's way worse shit on YouTube, like way worse real shit. Like ours is just like historical footage of like firing squads.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
I feel like you can just look that up anyway. So it's wild to see like what it says that the restrictions are and everything.
Yeah. I would have like, I don't know. I'd more understand it if they were like drug use or something, but like just weed.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're Massachusetts, bro. That shit's legal here.
Yeah, exactly. It's nothing crazy. Like
yeah. The cigarettes are the worst part, dude.
Yeah. That's true.
Killing the children. Oh no.
That's true.
That's the worst thing that we did in that video was smoke butts.
That's funny. that is true. That is true. That's funny. Yeah, so I guess we'll jump on to get about like five questions, I think, something like that.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and ask. So
absolutely, I can get started. So what made you want to be in a band, and who are some of your biggest influences?
Ooh, okay. The first question, honestly, it's kind of like regular, if I'm being honest. I always was into music like my whole life. Both of my parents were super into music. Neither of them played an instrument, but they were just very music enjoyers. They just loved to listen to music of really all kinds. And so I was just always around like rock, and even like I had like step siblings when I was younger and they listened to like a lot of rap. So I was like exposed to like a lot of sick 90s rap and stuff like that, like at a super young age, which is like probably fucking terrible for me, but that and just like, yeah, like a lot of rock bands. And the way my kind of taste changed over like my like really early teenage years, I like went from like kind of more classic rock into like the classic metal and then to more heavier stuff. And I don't know, I always played guitar, and it was just like a classic thing where like you just find kids that also like to play the same kind of music as you, and they were like, maybe we should start a band. Like that's literally, it's just like a textbook way to start getting into playing music. Specifically, one of my friends just always loved like Metallica and Pantera, and that's like my two favorite bands for so long. And me and him used to just play those songs, like just the two of us. And we went to a music summer camp, and there was a kid there that like also played drums. Yeah, it's like it's so like regular. Yeah. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, that's technically how it started, and then like that fizzled out for like a little bit, and that essentially just happened again later in high school when I met a couple kids, and that essentially was like my first like real band that I ever played like shows with, and that's when I was like fucking 16, 17, which is crazy to think about that was half my life ago. But yeah.
It's crazy with you know, that first initial start. You know, for me it was just like and I've said this in previous podcasts, like Motown was like my mom's a singer, right? She sings in church, she listens to Motown, so it was like for me like singing was the big thing, you know, the kind of
the one thing I wish I could do so bad as sing, so that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, so she's an incredible singer. And it's like it's cool to get into that, but then like after that, like I ended up finding out my dad was a drummer, and so like I ended up finding his drum kit. So drums is like my initial first instrument. And then you know taught myself, you know, and then eventually kind of got into guitar and taught myself guitar, you know, and then it's like
but drums I literally was the only one who like was willing to play drums. That's why I played drums, because all of my friends were guitar players.
Yeah.
So I don't think I could have learned guitar on my own. Like I'm very grateful for the lessons I had, but drums, like I just had to force myself to fucking learn.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those fun,
did it come easily to you for drums?
So yeah. So drums was my first instrument, right? So that's like what I initially learned on. And I played drums in the band up until, let's see, I played drums in a band from when I was 14 up until, 26, 27.
Oh, wow.
Like something like that, 28. Like, so, you know, I played drums there. And then after that, like I kind of got out of music for a little bit, and then decided to play guitar. Like I just, guitar was easier to get back into. Like I had my whole drum kit. Like I used to be endorsed, like had a symbol endorsement, had a, all that stuff. And it was cool, but it just like everything was packed away and it was just like, oh, I can just pick up a guitar and like, noodle and like it's fine, So it was easier. And then eventually kind of jumped into guitar. But
Nice. So did
yeah,
you
so
learn guitar that late?
no, I played guitar. I started playing guitar when I was like 14 or 15 too.
Oh,
But
okay.
but like drums, I played drums when I was like 8. I started when I was 8, and then like around 14 is when I jumped into guitar.
Yeah. I wish I started that early. I didn't start playing like seriously until I was probably like 13. And like I had a guitar when I was 10. Like my mom got me my first guitar for my 10th birthday, but I just like didn't take it seriously. I even took lessons for like a long time, and like I could have just like, I don't know, I just like went through the motions with like an asshole. I don't know why I did that. I always think about that. Genuinely, like that's such a formative fucking time in everybody's life. Like I could have been probably way sicker than I am, but yeah, it's fucking that's sick. Playing drums
Yeah,
since
that
8
was
is fun.
a topic last episode, was like the amount of even just thinking like what kids like today have like available to them versus like what you guys had and vice versa and such. It's like, would you be any different like if taking all that seriously with all those tools and everything, or like still be right where we are?
Yeah, I don't need, it's crazy too because there's so many I don't know if it's just the access to seeing them, but there's so many more talented people that exist nowadays. Like, and I think it's a combination of there is just more of them, but also we have access to seeing their videos and their performances and their songs, like because anybody can upload anything at any time. So I think it's definitely a combination of both, but like it is crazy how insane there are, musicians are at such young ages now.
Exactly.
It's fucking wild. So I don't know. I would hope I'd be fucking better. That's
yeah.
like fuck. If I'm not using all those resources, like I try to use them as much as I can now. And I'm an old dog trying to learn new shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the same thing with me. It's like I don't really go on and learn anything. I just like, I don't know. I do my own thing.
I learn by accident. I just like, especially like on like guitar. Like unfortunately for drums, I'm like my own. I have to like push myself to get better. But in Euclid, like there's 4 other people that write in that band. So if they're writing shit that's fucking hard as fuck, like I just have to play it.
Yep.
Right.
But for Shapethrower, there's no other drummers, so it's like grateful. I have a fucking E-kit now in my basement, which I just got, and being able to like actually sit and track. I'm like, I enjoy programming drums, and I've always done that for a very long time, and I'm very good at it. I'm very confident in my ability, but there's still just like something about physically playing that like shit comes out way different. So it's like I'll listen to a song and I'm like, damn, I do that fill like too many times or whatever, but I have to push myself with that. With guitar, it's like I'm lucky that I get like free progress because I don't have to like worry. Like they write crazy shit that I just have to learn.
Yeah. That's one thing. That's the one.
It's funny.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I think I miss is like in Death's Hand, we play a lot of like really like purposefully simplistic like stuff, like it's really like just a lot of chug type chords and then like, light tremolo picking stuff here and there. And you know what I mean? Like it's not like we purposefully do that so that when we're on stage, we're not like killing ourselves,
No, I feel that, dude.
But I feel like I'm not progressing as much as I would like to because I don't have a guitar player who's like Kyle's good, and Kyle can who's our other guitar player. He can shred, he can shred and do some stuff, but it's not like he's like, leaps and bounds better than me. He's definitely better than me, but not like leaps and bounds, So like when you get those people who like, know every scale, every chord, everything, and you watch them write, you're like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know. It kind of pushes you a little bit to be like,
everybody in Euclid writes like so different too. Like all of us write so different. So that's like just shit that I would never even think of is shit that I have to learn. So it makes my own vocabulary. Like I feel like every time I learn a single song, my vocabulary is doubling. It's pretty cool.
Same.
And the bass player like writes in Tablet a lot, which is like Guitar Pro. So that same shit. And so he like writes shit that's like we have to like dumb it down because I'm like, dude, this is unplayable. Like you can't even play this.
Yeah.
You wrote this, you can't even fucking play this shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've
That's
actually had you were talking about like live and stuff like that, like playing simplistic shit so you're not killing yourself live. After this is in 2023, our first headliner in Providence, we played like the longest set we've ever played so far. And after the set, like my bassist, we play like a lot of my bassist songs because he's an incredible writer. And after the set, he's like, dude, I gotta like make our songs a little bit easier. And I was like,
Yeah.
finally, dude. That doesn't mean it's worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, there's some fucking parts where we're all just staring at our fretboards. It's like, it is what it is. Like, I don't know. People that understand that music are like cool with it. And obviously we go hard for the parts we want to go hard for or can go hard for. But there's also a thing where it's like, I don't know, the vibe kind of can dip on parts that I feel like it shouldn't be dipping on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which that also means dusk.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, you fucking were. Yeah, so that show, yeah. We just like played a lot of hard songs, which is like they all are 6 songs, but it's just funny as fuck because like he said that to me, and I was like, "Yeah, dog, I'm trying to tell you."
So I've been trying to say.
You can put a couple of your songs in here, but not the fucking whole set of just fucking science the whole time, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, and you kind of touched on it, but we can go back into who are some of your biggest influences, which for yourself and then for the bands.
So influences now or when I started?
Let's do now.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a handful. I'm really into Viljarda is one of my big ones right now. I fucking love that band. I like Humanity's Last Breath a lot. Obviously Meshuggah, because that's what everyone's probably going to guess that I'm going to say. Definitely Meshuggah, they're like my favorite band. But we don't really like sound like them, but there's a lot of stuff I take from them. They're just not like a fast band. They're mostly groove shit and just like confusing rhythms and stuff like that. But that's definitely a big influence. I would say for the band, a big one would be like Fit for an Autopsy and Periphery. That's kind of where like we try to blend our stuff a lot. A big thing that like we all try for, especially with Euclid, is like I like to write choruses. I feel like there's like I like try to write like rock songs with like the heaviest and most technical riffs, if that like makes sense. Like when I describe the band, like I like hope people like understand like where the choruses are and like what the like I have repeating lyrics and like things like that, which is I just want people who don't normally listen to like deathcore and death metal to like be able to like follow along to a song, even if the vocals are fucking doing gutturals or doing crazy fucking highs or whatever. Like both of the vocalists in both of my bands, which is like a huge point of pride for me, is their enunciation is like very, very fucking clear. So you can hear what they're saying like very clear. I've people that don't like this music at all are like, oh wow, I actually understand like what he's saying. And that's huge. I mean, that's the only way to kind of connect with more people is making shit more accessible. And there's a way to do that without like just like copping out, in my opinion. Like you're not going to see it. I mean, I love singing. Like you just heard me say, I'm huge on singing. I would put singing in every Euclid chorus if I could, but I know that that's like that's not like people probably wouldn't be down with that. But
deathcore, yeah,
exactly. But like I think there's a way it could be done. I also think that like there's a way to do it without ever putting singing in any song, and that's like what I strive for, especially with Euclid. So for influences for Shapethrower, it's pretty fucking obvious. It's fucking Gideon, dude. Gideon's like our shit. We just want to be Gideon too. That's a full admission.
Absolutely.
Right? No, Gideon and the one that we always get as like you sound like this, which is by far the biggest compliment I could get as like the other version of metal I like, is people say we sound like Misery Signals, and that's absolutely like a huge influence for us. Yeah, like especially when the record comes out on October 25th, like there's a bunch of shit on that record that's like very, very melodic and Misery Signals-esque. Like we just kind of chose to go like the 2 heavy songs first because like I can't lie, it's a bummer to say this, but most people don't give a fuck about the other songs and they like the heavier songs. So we released those songs, which I mean, we like that shit too. Those are the songs that sound like Gideon, you know what I mean? Like, or at least newer Gideon. But that and like Counterparts is definitely a huge influence for us. I'd say those are the main 3 bands. I'd put the Ghost Inside in there too. Those are like our 4 main bands.
Yeah.
We sound just like them too. We like it's once again, it's a full admission. I'm proud of the way we sound. I don't necessarily take any of that shit a negative way, especially when people say we sound like Misery Signals. I'm like, God, you don't know how fucking awesome that's like. That's
yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, it's fucking. That's like incredible. That's like.
Yeah.
I don't think they realize. Like, I mean, maybe they do. I don't know. When people say that to us, I'm like, fuck, bro.
Yeah,
that'll make me blush every time.
Yeah,
every time.
That's a really cool compliment to get. Is, you know what I mean? Like it's. I mean, all the bands you mentioned are great. You know what I mean? And they all have like a pretty hard side, but also like some of it has like some melodic sides and stuff like that. So it's like that's kind of the. I wouldn't say that like we're very melodic with Death's Hand, but like we try to bring a lot of synth stuff in. You know what I mean? And like we try to add some kind of layer to make it just like. And it's funny you said you wish you could add singing. Like I would love to add singing into like some Death's Hand stuff. Dude. Like it'd be rad. Yeah.
And there's like, dude, people are just pussies, dude. They hear singing and I'm like, that's way more cool than anything you've done this whole song. I'll be hyped on the singing part.
Yeah. And it's I think it's one of those things where
I like heavy singing too. Like dark, evil singing is fire. Like it doesn't have to be like Sleeping with Sirens, dude. That's not what I'm, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and that's the
fire.
Yeah, that's the fun part about like being in a band is you know, there's so many different ways you can take it, and sometimes you want it to go certain ways and it doesn't end up working that way, or sometimes you like force it to be a certain way, you know, like if you want singing, it'll be in there eventually, you know. Like
sure.
So yeah, that's one of those cool things where I don't know, there's just endless ways to go, you know. It's really fun.
And I will say, there's a lot of singing on the Shapethrower record. A lot of the bass player Zach, he's a fucking incredible fucking singer, and he's fucking great. And there's a lot of singing, a lot of really good choruses on that record too. Which they're once again like, that's another band where I definitely put that in there. I want choruses. I want people to like, I don't know, be able to follow along with the verse and the chorus and know what the lyrics are when the part comes back in. Like, all that shit's important to me because that's like, I love pop music. Like 90% of the time I'm listening to fucking SZA and fucking Bruno Mars and Post Malone. It's like, that's my shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I obviously love metal too, and I listen to plenty of metal, but I found the older I get, I'm more fascinated by how good a song can be off of like how little pop music uses realistically. Like they just have a lot of layers that make things sound nice and lush and heavy and gorgeous, but like what they're doing is like fucking 3 chords.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's all in like the sick vocal melody. It's all in the vocal melody and like the lyrics. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They can yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I would say I agree 100%. You know, like I think that's one thing that's, you know, you don't have to overplay. You don't have to, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love when like metal songs are like intense, right? Like super crazy, like super shreddy, like whatever. It's cool, like right. And there are parts in pop songs where like, oh, there's some complicated stuff in there, like, oh, the drummer's doing something like that's actually really sick. You know what I mean?
It's got to serve the song. That's my rule. It can be technical as fuck and be the sickest thing and make sense, or it could be the simplest thing I've ever heard and still make sense in a technical song.
Exactly.
As long as it serves the part, serves the song, that's all that matters. Which is, in my opinion, like the hardest thing to do. For sure. It almost doesn't matter what the part is. Like it could be, could be simple. It could be crazy hard.
Yeah.
As long as it's like the right part, which that's the key to all music right there. Is finding the right part.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Takes a lot. Takes a whole lot.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll move on to this next question, which I kind of talked about. I don't know if you did, but you kind of mentioned a couple things. But what instrument did you learn first? And did it make you better at the other one?
Oh yes, absolutely. So I learned piano first.
Okay, cool.
I learned piano in like second grade, first or second grade, maybe into third grade. I only went for a little while, which once again should have gone fucking longer.
Yeah.
Would have been way sicker. Once again, that's the moral of the story: is fucking stick with it, because apparently I did not.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely made me way better. Piano's crazy because it's literally in black and white. As stupid as it sounds, it quite literally is white and black keys. And I'm like a super visual learner, so like having the keys in set up in such a way, it was so easy to like understand where chords lie and like what notes make what chord, whatever they might be. So when I switched to guitar, that was like super evident, like almost right away. I just had to kind of relearn like the order, I guess, because that's the thing that sucks about the guitar is the notes are like technically fucking all over the place.
Right.
They're, and especially going up the fretboard, it's like nonsense compared to a piano. A piano, they're literally in fucking order. It's like that's what when I worked Guitar Center for a long time, and people always like, oh, what like instrument would you suggest to learn first? Like always fucking piano, because it allows you to instantly understand music and its relation, how the notes relate to each other. And I just think that gave me like a crazy foundation for like understanding music. Like I gave up reading guitar music like super quick, but I could probably still read piano music.
Yeah.
Because once again, everything's just in fucking order. It's like there's no. Yeah, it is sick. I wish I stuck with piano, and that's like I don't even really have something like that in my studio, and I wish that I did, because I feel weirdly still. I haven't played a keyboard or piano in years, and I still would feel comfortable. Just like I could work my way around it probably within like a month or two.
Yeah.
If I stuck with it, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess technically piano was my first too. So like I started out on piano. And I think I pretty much did the same thing you did. Like I took 2 or 3 years and then like was done, you know?
Yeah.
But I think the one thing that piano did for me realistically, was gave me the knowledge of what notes work well together and what notes don't work well together, right?
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
That's like at the base section, right? Like the very like base of you learning something, as long as you know like, oh, I can play these chords, I can play these notes. Oh, that note doesn't sound right. That note doesn't sound right. You know, that I think that's the main key, because like, you know, I went to school for music history. I did music theory. I'm not good at it. Like I'm just not.
Same.
And I think
I sucked at it when I was into it. I was terrible at it.
Yeah.
I took music theory in high school and failed miserably.
Yeah. I was not good really at any of that. It was just
it's like another language pretty much.
Yeah. But the one thing that piano I definitely think helped me with is just being able to know, like, I know what I can play and what sounds good together. So it's like if you know what goes together and what sounds good together, then you can usually write a song. you know,
for sure.
You know,
absolutely.
Yeah,
for sure. I think what's weird that most people don't know about me is I can still fully read music. I played flute for 12 years, and then I did baritone saxophone because I realized that flute and saxophone are the same thing, just differently set up. So I'm still able, like, when I'm at shows, I can usually tell what it's in, and then it give me like 10 seconds and I can tell you like what the BPM is and everything.
Wow, that is fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's super rad.
I'm waiting for someone to be like, we need a saxophone player or a flute player. And it's like, I got that, Phil. Anyone want to do
I'm super mad that you didn't tell me that last podcast, because I'm pretty sure I brought up the ska thing. So we should totally start a ska band.
Ska band.
What the hell?
Absolutely.
So James from Shapethrower, the guitar player of Shapethrower, he played trombone in high school. He was in a world-class percussion ensemble. Like my high school had, they won world championships twice, or maybe 3 times. Maybe more than that. I don't remember. But he was in the percussion ensemble. I think it's trombone. I could be making not all this up, but like just getting facts completely wrong. But he played trombone, and he was also just like you. He was like, they were militant. Like they would practice for hours after school, hours and hours. And he could, he was able to tell key, BPM, like all that shit. Obviously, like now he's lost it because he hasn't played that in forever. I mean, he could probably get it back, honestly, because like you said, it's like realistically riding a bike. Like once you figure it out, but he fucking loves ska. So if we're playing ska, you're fucking
ska band, guys.
We should totally start a ska band. Holy fuck, let's do it, dude.
I can't wait to tell him about this. He's gonna be mind blown that you fucking played sax and flute, dude. Because he's like,
that's awesome.
He fucking loves
my
that
high school, I'm from New York, so we were in the St. Patrick's Day parade every single year. We wore like tuxedos. Our mascot was the Dragons, but we were just called the Marching Penguins because that like militant, like you had to have like every like we were perfect. Like if you look us up on YouTube, it's still there.
Oh, that's so fucking awesome. Yeah, I cannot wait to tell James that. He's gonna be hyped.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he fucking loves ska.
We should totally we should write like a ska EP.
Just because
that would be the coolest shit.
I can't lie to you. I fucking hate ska, but I'll still do it with you guys because it sounds.
I'm not the biggest fan either, but it would be a really cool project.
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan. Like,
dude.
Huge.
So yeah, I just learned that recently that like ska is technically like the fucking saddest music most of the time. Like,
there's
like a lot of the content is just fucking miserable. And like James is like, you didn't know Real Big Fish, all the songs are sad. I was like, what do you mean, dude? And then I listened. I like we used to work together, so we drive like in our fucking box truck for like 2 hours a day. He'd put it on and be like, dude, you're right. This is like depressing, dude.
Yeah.
Like, the lyrical content's fucked.
Yeah.
All this uppity music and then just
that's what it's like. I was in disbelief. I was like, dude, there's no way. Like this music sounds like fucking clown music, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. And
like
a shitload of it is sad.
Yeah, it's so funny.
That's hilarious. That's so funny. Yeah, and I think with I wanted to jump back into that one part. Obviously, like piano helps a lot with guitar, but like, do you feel that? I mean, I think it does. But do you think like piano rhythmically helped you out learning drums at all?
Possibly, just from the aspect of like limb independence.
Yeah,
I think that's from that aspect. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been really lucky that I've always had kind of a good sense of rhythm. Like weirdly, like I don't know. I just remember like when I first started playing in bands, like I couldn't play drums, but I could show a drummer like what I meant for a part or something.
Yeah.
And once again, like especially when I got to high school and all my friends played guitar and wanted to do vocals, like we didn't have bass players. I don't remember having a bass player until I was like in my third or fourth band. Like, you know what I mean? Like there was just no bass players. We just played with like we'd always play like 2 or 3 guitars, like never a bass player.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I learned drums, I remember like taking a few. I guess I took lessons, but not really. It was with the guy who gave me a drum set or lent me a drum set was my mom's like very good friend from high school, and he just gave me like some basic lessons, and he was like, "Oh, you like can do this." But I guess something I do forget about is that I did play in like 4th or 5th grade. I played just like the snare drum in like our like regular like orchestra ensemble, and I did play that, but I sucked at that. So like I don't even. I forgot about it until right now. That's how bad it was. So
that's funny.
Maybe it did. Yeah, like I said, for limb independence, I feel like it must have unlocked something in me for sure.
Yeah. I think
now like that's limb independence, and then also like finger independence.
Oh,
so
for sure.
That's I mean, same thing with like playing sax, like being able to like that's limb independence and like breathing and timing, like that's intense, dude.
Yeah,
that's like what was wild is my senior year of high school, I was like, how many instruments can I learn? As soon as I realized like I also played piccolo too, I forget that. But once I learned like saxophone is the same, just different, then my band teacher was like, oh, I need a baritone sax and jazz band actually. And then the breathing difference between something like the flute to how much it took like for the baritone sax to be played,
Yeah,
like
dude.
it's unreal.
Yeah.
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 And you have to like, you have to be like rhythmic with your breathing. It's not even just learning how to actually make the thing make sound. You have to like be able to do that in time. Like that's fucked. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Guitar seems such a bitch instrument when you compare it to all this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would agree. Like, I mean, there is some skill to play guitar, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, no, I just I mean, those traditional instruments, even like violin and viola, like that shit's it's so much harder. There's no frets or anything. Like,
yeah, it's so much more
intense. For idiots, dude.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why I have so many.
Yeah. Yep. That's crazy. That's
I was
crazy.
gonna say, you're covering up yours, Ed. Aren't your guitars also lined up right behind you?
Yeah, I got like 5 or 7 over there and then 4 over there.
Hell yeah.
I got a bunch. It's fun.
Awesome. I love it.
Oh yeah.
All right. So what is it that you like recording music for your own bands? And then you said you like tracking drums and everything. What do you like recording for other bands?
So I hate let me rephrase this. I hate like mixing my own projects, like mixing and like finalizing my own shit. I just did that for Shapethrower, and I will never do it again. Confirmed. I will never do it again. The part that I do love is like creating, and like I like kind of like, which like this will definitely fade, but I like the brunt work, like editing. Like I'm huge. That's the part I do enjoy. And the creation part, like when we're down here, like actually recording and like producing shit and like writing new parts, like that part with my own band doesn't get better. That's by far my favorite part in general is making a song. In terms of like the actual mixing and like finalization part of it, mixing other bands is so much more satisfying. I don't know. I don't know if it's because with Shapethrower, I had these emotions where I was on very opposite ends of the spectrum, where I would be like, oh, fuck it. It's my own band. Like I can take my time. I can do whatever. Like it doesn't really matter. Like it'll be sick no matter what, whatever. I'm hyped on the songs. It's totally fine. And then I'd come down here and I'd hyperfixate on something for hours and hours and get nowhere and think everything sucks and be miserable about it. And it's just because of the lens I'm viewing it through. I'm trying to listen to it as a listener or as a consumer and not as the person who created it. And I think it was to a detriment that I did my own stuff. I had a lot of help from my studio partner, Julian. He was the one who really took the reins at the end because I just couldn't do it. I was just like, dude, I can't fucking do this. Like, it's just a lot. Like my brain is just fried from this. I've listened to these songs so many times. I fucking hate this whole record. Like it sucked. So like, I'm glad he jumped in. But like Euclid, I have way more fun doing because I know that I don't have to like finish it. Yeah. I just get it as sick as I possibly can, where I'm like, everyone's fucking hyped on it, and then I send it off to get fucking finalized, mixed and mastered by Cody. And like he does such an insane job, and his mixes are so much better than mine that like every time I listen to it back from him, I'm like, dude, this is a new fucking song. Like I've never even heard this song before, which is the best feeling. That's only happened a couple times in my life, realistically. For some reason, I don't know, what was in my head just never came out until recently.
Yeah, I would definitely say that that's one thing. We just do demos of our own stuff, and then we go to someone to record everything. Yeah. But it's cool because like we write the demo, not necessarily like, oh, this is what we want it to sound like. We just write the demo, and then it's like going into the studio and then letting we go to Evan Stammons. He's the drummer for Last Chance to Reason.
Yep.
Yeah, so
he fucking rips.
Yeah, he rips. So working with Evan is it's a whole nother beast, like it's like we just give him like the barest of bones. It's like, this is what we want to do. And then he goes, okay, I know how to elevate you. You know what I mean? Like, and like, I'll give him like, I'll be like, yo, this record, we're looking for this specific kind of tone. Like, like I want it to sound like, I don't know, Alpha Wolf. I want it to say, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
just guitar tone wise, you know, or it's like, oh, hey, you know, for
that's the
the
best
last,
shit you can do. That's the best
yeah,
shit you can do
yeah,
for anyone mixing.
yeah, exactly. Just give them like a rough tone. Like I want a more raw tone. I want a more bassy tone. You know, I want you know, a thicker tone. You know, like
Yep.
whatever it is, and then just give references. You know, that's the thing that we do. It's like, yeah, like for this last record, we wanted more synth, and we wanted more like, I don't want to say we wanted to sound like End, but we just wanted that like thicker, like bassier tone. It was just like
Yeah,
this song, like we want it to sound kind of like this for the whole record, you know.
yeah.
And then it's like, so
That
it's
HFC
interesting. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, it's one of those things where I mean, I don't think I could ever, I don't think I could ever record and mix. I wouldn't want to do that.
I love mixing. I have a blast with it. I love like bringing a song to life, like from a
Yeah,
rough demo, and like hearing it in my car, like after like working on something for so long. Like that
yeah,
is the fucking. I like. Yeah, that's the fucking best. I love that shit. And now once again, like it's fucking hilarious. But my mixes for the new Shapethrower, because I know I don't have to do it, are literally, in my opinion, like just as good, if not better, than Grief Cycle, and I'm not even trying. And it's
yeah,
horse shit. And that's
yeah,
what I mean. Like the minute I get to like kind of like decompress, like I'm able to like build stuff up like
yeah,
really well. And that's what I that's my favorite part. Like
yeah,
just making songs pop and like having the big impacts be impactful as they should be, and bringing
yeah,
the band's ideas to life. Like I just worked with a band, and I sent them like a revision, and he was like mind blown just between the two revisions,
yeah,
because the chorus originally like didn't really feel like a chorus, and I made that shit fucking hit, and he was like mind blown, and I was also mind blown because it's one of those things where I worked on it for a fucking day and a half, so my brain is, my point of reference is like kind of gone. When you
yeah.
listen to them back to back, they sound like two different people recorded them, so it's like
Right.
that's what I love, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's and
I'll never do my band again. That's a fucking fact of life.
yeah. And so like, do you feel like you get more satisfaction with working with other projects, like for sure, like editing and like, you know, mixing and stuff like that, like working with
Oh
other
yeah,
bands?
yeah, but I think, like I said, I think that's more just because like I just have my like disdain kind of for mixing my own music is like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I mean, where I get the most fulfillment is writing, is creation.
Yeah,
So I would say that's like first and foremost. So obviously, like I would rather never record another band again if it meant that I couldn't write another song again, kind of deal.
right.
But from the mixing aspect, like from like the actual like, you know, making, you know, reamping and doing all that stuff. Yeah, I definitely enjoy doing it for other bands more. Once again, because it's not my own music, and just like, I don't know, I'm helping people
Yeah,
get a product that they want to, that they're proud of, and it was what they heard in their head.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I've been doing this. I haven't been doing this shit that long, but that was like one of the most eye-opening things that I was like, wow, I can like listen to my own music like as good as I want it to sound. Like that's fucking crazy.
yeah,
And that's what pushed me more. That's what pushed me more into mixing in general, was like just the fact that like I was like, wait, like I could make this song sound as good as like fucking the Acacia Strain or something if I just
right.
try.
Yeah,
And once again, like I like doing that for other bands just because like I've learned that I can't do it for my own band. But in general, like that's the coolest part, is like being able to mix a band from the ground up and like hearing the difference in change and mixes and like the aggression come out of the song that is there already. It just like it all depends on how you capture it. It's fucking fascinating.
yeah. That's awesome.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Definitely.
crazy. Yeah. So next question we have, who are some of your like current favorite New England bands right now? Either ones you've played with, ones you haven't played with, whatever, anything.
Okay. I would say, let me think here. I would say Egan. Spain Egan out of technically Rhode Island. They probably say Providence. I don't think a single one of them lives in Providence, but that's how band stuff goes.
Yeah.
Dom says we're from Rhode Island, Massachusetts. That's where he says we're from.
Right.
Like Rhode Island, fucking town. because we're all spread the fuck out. I would say Ejin. I can't even think of any local bands right now. Like super local, like small, like the same level as like my bands, or just bands.
Yeah. I mean,
I gotta rep the boys. Great American Ghosts. They're will be probably my favorite local band. But they're not a fucking local band because they just toured with fucking the Ghosts inside.
yeah.
Let's see. That band Erase Me is really good. I definitely like Erase Me. I like No Allegiance. They're out of Worcester. I fucking love No Allegiance. I fucking love Wisdom and War because they're like almost a fucking new metal band. They are a new metal. I don't even know. They're like a new metalcore band. They fucking rip. I love
Spoil a grind. The hell.
Yeah, that's a crazy tour. Yeah, for sure. How many? I've said like 3 or 4. I got to name 2 more. I got to shout out some other homies. I'm trying to think of who else though. The Grang, they're the homies. Honestly, fucking Tar too. I just recorded them. They're fucking dope. I've known those kids for so fucking long. They're fucking awesome. Yeah, I would say that. Iron Gate too. I'd shout out Iron Gate. I just recorded a single for them that I'm working on right now, and that shit is fucking pissed. I'm very excited for that song.
Yeah, they're ridiculous. They played Workockapalooza and then we're with you the very next day.
Yeah, they fucking were. Yeah, that shit was fucking sick. Yeah, there's a lot of bands I could shout. I like Rap Blood too. We did a weekender with them. They're fucking tight. Yeah. Those are probably my favorites, I would say. Those are the ones that come to mind first. So apparently those are who I like the best, I would say.
Yeah. That's a good chunk of bands right there. So
yeah,
definitely not bad.
I'm like such a busy person. I just got a lot going on all the time between 2 bands, trying to record as many bands as I can, trying to like work on bands mixes, and I work a full-time job also. But I wish I could go to more shows, but a lot of fucking bad shows too that I don't mind fucking missing, dude. I'll be straight honest with you. There's not a lot of bands that evoke emotion in me around here, unfortunately.
Yeah, it happens.
It does. I wish people took songwriting more seriously.
Yeah.
It took way longer to write their music.
Yeah. I was just at the Middle East and like local bands. It was Cannabis Script, Rap Blood, and
yeah. Yep.
Why am I spacing? I'm spacing on the last one. It'll come back to me. But Dem Fighting Words. They're out of Chicago. Yeah. They're insane. Yep. Like actually, like their music was insane.
Hell yeah, I'll have to check them out. See, I'm also a cynical asshole, and that fucking band name immediately turns me off.
Exactly. I remember like hearing about them like months ago, not even realizing they were on the bill, and then I saw them. I'm like, bet, like it's gonna be sick, and they were.
But I also, I was gonna say, but I say that, but like I listen to bands with equally terrible band names, so it's like, I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's one of those things where like the person has to be like, yo, you should actually check them out. So now that you've done this, now I actually will go check them out.
You need to. Yeah.
Now I'm actually going to go take a listen.
Slugs out of Connecticut. Elliot is great.
Hell yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm definitely like that. I'm like the worst music listener too. I can't even lie to you. I listen to the same shit. I don't fucking listen to anything new ever. If I do, it's from a band I already fully like. Like it's I don't know why. I don't know if I have like an attention span of like a goldfish or something. I just can't. It's bad. I like feel fucking bad sometimes because I have friends that listen to so much new music and know about so many cool bands, and I'll be so late to the party on so much fucking music, dude. Like the amount of times that's happened in like the past 2 years of just shit that I've just like huge bands, even not even small bands, just I'm like the worst music. All my friends like just make fun of me for it because I just like, I'm just
you like what you like.
Bad. I will listen to an album into the ground. That's how I listen to music.
I'm the same way.
I don't fuck with the singles. So I'm not part of that. I'm not part of that vibe.
Yeah. I would say I listen to very few newer stuff. I mean, I do, but it's not very often. And I'm kind of similar to you. Like I definitely catch stuff like not, I wouldn't say at the tail end, but I definitely catch stuff later on. You know what I mean? It's not like
Oh, yeah.
very, very rarely do I catch stuff like right when it's like, oh, this is hot, I'm listening to it. Like very
Yeah.
rarely.
No, I think
Yeah.
I don't know if this is like this would be me if this is like the cool explanation. If I was like, if I'm actually this cool of a person, this is like an explanation for this. But I think sometimes I like think that like if something's like subconsciously think this, I'm like, oh, if something sticks around, maybe I should actually give it a try.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like Knocked Loose for like the longest time. I liked a couple songs of Laugh Tracks because like Oblivion's Peak is that song's a banger. You're an idiot if you dislike that song. And I didn't obviously give a fuck about the barking song because I just thought that was like, it is what it is. It's a song where he barks. But that EP came out, Tear in the Fabric of Life. And I listened to that whole thing and I was like, what the fuck happened? And like they got way bigger after that. And I like stayed with them since then. And like I've completely changed my tune on them. Even the older, like even a different shade of blue is that record.
Yeah.
Like that record I ended up loving. I think that record's great. But when it came out, I was like, I did listen to it. Like I give things a chance, but I have to like sit there like and like deep dive in my brain to like really like actually enjoy something unless it gets me right away. Like I have to like pay attention to it almost.
Was it Brian Garris's vocals?
No. I've always had a really hard time with simple shit.
Mm-hmm.
And the older I get, I enjoy simple, which I talked about already. I've been enjoying simple stuff more and more and more. I still listen to plenty of obscenely technical music because I also thoroughly enjoy that. I wish that there was more value from a lot of people in technical music, but there isn't, and I am fully aware of that.
Yeah.
People like shit that they can understand immediately, which that's not. I don't blame anybody for that. That's a fact of life.
Yeah.
If you deny that, then you're just you're ignorant, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's really what it is. I'll be honest, I don't like any vocals. I wish all bands were instrumental. I would listen to all bands instrumental, dude. That's like funny. a running joke with like so many band members I've had in my life where it's like I would rather give me everything with no vocals. I would thoroughly enjoy it. Vocals are always like last for me. That's why I'm like one of the few people who like actually enjoys Periphery, I feel like. Because Spencer is rough, dude. Homeboy is rough. He's got some good songs and some good parts, but like overall, that dude is a rough ass vocalist. It's rough, but their music just has always spoken to me. It fucking hits for me. It always has.
Yeah.
But once again, I've been following Misha since he was like super young before Periphery even existed. So
yeah, same. Yeah, I followed him for a long time.
Yep. Yeah. Bulb. All the Bulb demos and shit. Like that's my shit.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I think going back to what you asked, Ash, I think it's just the fact that I'm just like, I understand simpler music now. Like I understand the value it serves. And like, dude, the new record, especially like the way that they sound is like the way it's sonic. That's a huge thing for me is like the mix on an album. Like Kublai is a perfect example. Like their music is, I feel like might be a hot take, but I feel like the mix carries a lot of their music. I don't even necessarily think it's the music itself. Like they're able to bring like a live aspect to the recording studio, and Randy is so fucking good at mixing. He did Gideon too, and like he's done Boundaries. Like he's really good at adding aggression to music that already is aggressive.
Absolutely.
So that's like a huge thing for me. It's definitely like what things actually sound like.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's definitely one thing, especially with them, that like I feel like in their newer stuff, like it's not that I don't like it, but I think I like it because it sounds more aggressive, which is exactly what you said, right? Like it's simplistic stuff, but like the mix of it sounds, I don't know. I think it's hard. I don't dislike them, but I don't like them. I don't know. It's weird. I'm like in the middle with it, but like the mix sounds so good and it sounds so raw just in its, in the state that it's in, that I like it at this current point. But like, I'm not like, over the moon about it,
Yeah, the way I look at that shit is it's just like a flavor. It's like, do I want that flavor right now? And that's really all it is, in my opinion. Especially with Kublai Khan, that like second to last song, it's like a hopeless something or other. The end of that song is just it's fucking massive sounding, and it's like that part is so simple and so straightforward, but it's their cuts. It's like where the silences land. They put those two little samples in. It's like that girl saying "fuck it" or that guy saying "fuck it." Like that shit just hits so stupid hard. But if it didn't sound like that, if it sonically wasn't that aggressive,
right,
it would fall so flat.
So flat.
It would fall. It would fall so flat. It would be. No one would take it seriously. And I feel like, I mean, I don't like this is. I'm a new to recording bands and stuff, but I feel like a lot more producers and mixing engineers should get way more credit, especially nowadays. Like I personally, I don't know about anyone else here, but I don't know if you guys can tell, like when a band records with a specific person, I can like hear like what
Absolutely.
I can like hear that person's like imprint on the music.
Oh,
like I can tell when people go to Will Putney. I can tell when people go to Randy. I can tell when people go to Buster Odoholm from fucking Sweden. He does like the Humanity's Last Breath shit. Like I can tell when motherfuckers record with those people. And it's like, I personally love that. I think that's so fucking cool. Like Drew Folk, he did like the new Knock Loose. He did like Amir, Look at Yourself. Like those records, you can listen to them and straight up be like, oh, I can hear his style of mixing on this song. And I think that's so fantastic.
Yeah, because it's like, yes, there's the band and you know what they sound like, but it's creating the voice, like, as you say, giving them the credit where it's due.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, it's such an obvious thing to me. I wish it stuck out more to other people, because like that's such a like, I don't know. I love seeing like, oh, we're releasing this new album mixed and mastered by this person. I'm like, oh my God. Like it's almost like a band going through a band, or like a band going through an artist.
I was just about to say that. It's literally like adding a band member.
Yeah. A band member that takes control of the whole thing, technically. It's fucking
correct.
Oh, I think that's so cool. I think it's
I
mean, all like the Spirit Box stuff is Dan Bronstein. Like all the stuff Dan Bronstein does sounds like Dan Bronstein. And like I think that's so fucking cool. Landon from fucking The Plot in You, like all of his mixes and all of his engineering work, like he does. And that's the other thing, is like these people do so many bands across so many genres that like you would never like know. It's like, oh, that person mixed that record or mastered that record. That's crazy. I didn't like realize that. That shit's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I like it. That shit gets me so hyped. I could talk about this all day.
Yeah, I would say that's like one of the things with working with Evan. He like if you listen to the stuff that Evan's done, you'll kind of realize that it's Evan. I mean, he works with a lot of different bands that sound not similar. But I mean, he's an amazing drummer, and he works for a bunch of I think he did. I'm probably going to get this wrong. He worked on the Cannibal Corpse record for doing drums for something, I think.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, maybe drum edits or something.
Yeah, so he does drum edits for a lot of people. Because he's very good at it.
Yeah, Charlie Abend. He owns Tower Farm. He's done shit for big ass records too. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Evan does a lot. It's like, for me, if I was ever to record drums or do anything, I would be going to him. Like there's no, at this point in time, like, I mean, sure, there's a bunch of other people I would love to work with, but like locally and who I know, like there's no one I would rather go with, you know?
Yeah. No, it's
and like
awesome.
Yeah, and the thing with him with guitars is he tends to be like, you go in and you're like, yeah, we want to have like a decent amount of gain. He'll cut your gain in half. Like that's just how he is. He's like, what you think you want, you don't want. Like, you know what I mean? He like instantly, he's like, I'll go in, I'll be like, yeah, can you turn up the gain? He's like, no, like, no, it's fine. You'll be good. Like it'll sound heavier. Just wait. And I'm like, okay, cool. You know, like,
I fucking respect that, baby.
Yeah. So it's funny, but like, I mean, I think it's really cool to have that one person. I mean, like, at least that's Evan for us, right? Like, he's that one person where it's like, we know we can bring this to him. He's like such a huge influence on us, just especially in the studio, like, he pushes us to do the best. He's always like, I had zero guitar recording experience before I went and recorded with Death's Hand, and he
Yep.
just like, he was like, yeah, man, you play really well recording, like, you're really tight, like, and I was like, oh, cool, thanks, like, you know what I mean, like, it's just a huge
Yeah.
compliment. It's
Yeah,
it's a
totally.
small
Yep.
thing, and some people can do it, some people can't, like,
Yeah.
I
but
like
yeah,
hearing this aspect of things because it really like ties into the like the media aspect of like knowing exactly what you sound like versus like looking at music videos or photos. Like everyone has their specific look, and that's like what bands look for still, like, and who they want and what they want to go for.
Yep. 100%.
oh, for sure.
Yep.
And I mean, I think
Absolutely.
that's the I think overall that's the funnest part about it. You know what I mean? Like, whether it's music, whether it's media, it's like finding those people that can take your talent or whatever it is and just go, oh, okay, I know what you want, but I'm gonna put it through my lens a little bit and see
Yeah.
how it comes out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's like, oh,
Absolutely.
cool. You make us sound better than we thought we could sound. You make us look better than we thought we could look. You make it, you know what I mean? Whatever you're doing, it's nice to have that person that you can trust, you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
go to, and whether it's getting photos or music video or, recording or whatever, it's nice to have that person that you're like, I know what I'm getting, you know what I mean? Or you can trust the process. You trust the process,
Yeah.
it's
for
like,
sure.
it's in their hands. They'll pump out something that's sick,
Yep. Yeah, it's like, I think that's going back to like way earlier. I think that's why I don't want to record my own band anymore. I think I was trying to be that sixth person, and it's like, it's just it's objectively impossible. I think a lot of bands that do their stuff themselves, I think that's a detriment. I don't really think that there's anyone on the planet that can, maybe aside from fucking like Buster, because
I'll say
Buster's
Buster. Yeah,
he's
he's
the
a
only one
beast.
I can think of, and Will Putney. Will Putney
Yeah.
does a lot of his band stuff.
Yeah.
So I definitely will like. Those are two people that stick out to me. But I would say the majority of like people like me, not
Right.
anyone who's an actual, a long seasoned professional,
Yeah.
is able to really execute that until you have the amount of like experience that like those two people have. That's all they've done for the past, 10 to 15. Will Putney's been doing it for probably 20 years at this point.
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
simply recording in and day out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't unfortunately have that luxury, and I think a lot of people don't either.
No.
And I think getting someone to, you can trust is even better than ever doing anything yourself.
Yeah, exactly. There's some fun doing some stuff yourself, and there's some fun like learning the process of like shooting the music video for myself was
Yeah.
a pain. But then
Yeah.
looking at it, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe this actually, like, this came out like, this came out half decent. I'm happy with it, But yeah, I mean, those two are powerhouses, so it's like they're kind of the exception to the rule. But yeah, I would say most people, like, if I don't have to record another music video, cool. I know I'll have to, but like, you know what I mean?
I would say, I bet the one thing we don't know is I bet Will and Buster, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they fucking hate doing their own shit though.
They might.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you never, like, you're not seeing, I mean, Buster has done Nail the Mix with both of it. Well, technically all fucking three of his bands, because he's also in Throne. I always forget that.
Yeah.
But Will, I don't think Will has ever done like a Nail the Mix of his own music. He's done like 3 of them, and it's never fit for an autopsy.
That would be.
I don't think
if he had.
Maybe he has done one, but
yeah.
But yeah, they definitely are the exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
Once again,
yeah, for sure.
I think a lot of people would rather just trust somebody else, even professionals. I think there's a lot of artists. I think there's definitely a big difference between the technical aspect and like the creation, like the art side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Crazy.
Awesome. So what's going on with Euclid right now, other than opening New England Metal and Hardcore Fest?
Yeah, that was definitely fire. It was fantastic, but it was definitely not a show for us. Definitely like an old school metalcore show, and kids were definitely like, I should say kids. It was mostly people my age and older who were just sitting there with their arms crossed. They did not know what to do with the blast beats and fucking really fast double bass drum. Which is whatever. That's fine. You know, we're rocking backtracks and all that shit. They didn't know what to do with any of that stuff, I don't think.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It was still a great show. We had a great turnout. Everyone was having a good time. We got a lot of good compliments. But yeah, the crowd was definitely like, what is happening right now? But in the future, we have, I mean, everything is like shit that I can't say, but I'm not that popular or cool, so I will say it. We have 2 singles coming out that I'm about to send off for mixing and mastering. We're doing 2 music videos for in December and January. That's just to kind of buy us some time for our next album, which is like, realistically, we have enough music for one. We're just like super picky about like what gets put out in like what order, kind of, because all of us write all the time. We have like it's weird how like a lot of our music like doesn't sound like other songs, or like shit isn't cohesive, but we also like strive for that in a weird way. That's going back to like the Periphery thing, is like they have songs that are like crazy heavy. They have songs that are like mostly acoustic guitar, like the whole range of music that they have. And that's like a huge thing for me, is like I love all of our writing styles and I love how different they are. So I like having like a taste of kind of like all the members of the band. That's obviously the fucking point of doing this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So we're gonna release these 2 singles as kind of like to buy us a little bit of time. They're 2 singles I'm really fucking proud of. The first one I wrote entirely, and you can fucking tell because of the shit that I off in it. The other one, the bass player wrote. It's a really fucking cool song. These are both like, one of them has like some blasts in it, but these songs are definitely more like groove and like heavy based. One of them goes against everything. The one I wrote hilariously goes against everything I said tonight and has no song structure whatsoever. And I did that on purpose because I kind of felt what I've been writing lately is like getting a little bit stale. So I just did something I hated. I did something I didn't want to, I did something I didn't want to do the whole time. And the band ended up liking it. And I obviously, I mean, and I like it now, but yeah, it has no chorus. It has no verse, no fucking, there's a massive fucking tempo change in the middle. Like, it's like 2 songs that I glued together, essentially.
Yeah.
But the other song is very much so like, it's, and this is really cool. It's my bass player trying to write like me. So it came out,
That's funny.
It's got a fucking banging chorus. The verse is one of my favorite riffs we've ever had in a song ever. It just grooves super hard. So yeah, we have that. We have a couple shows lined up that I don't have any details for, so I can't even spill the beans on that. It's shit that's like half confirmed that I don't know anything about. Yeah,
That's funny.
But yeah, that's about it.
And then what do you have going on with Shapethrower?
Shapethrower's got way more cool shit going on. That's the busy band for me right now, which I'm so glad they're not happening at the same time. We have our first full length album, Grief Cycle, coming out October 25th. So that's in 10 days, which is crazy that that's happening in 10 days. We have a show this Saturday in Manchester, New Hampshire at Bad Burger with Rap Blood and Stand Abandoned. We have 2 unannounced shows. One is like half announced. It's with the Grang and Tar in Providence on December 8th. I think that is the Grang, Tar, us, one other band I can't remember, and then a good friend of mine band's Burn Channel. Homies from high school. They finally started making music again after all these fucking years. I'm glad they are. So we're playing with them. And then one that's unannounced, just November 24th in Connecticut with Gina Fritz, Erase Me, Chain Twist. Shout out Chain Twist. They're another band. They should be added to that list from earlier. Chain Twist fucking rips. And I forget one. The Darkest Part of Me, I think is what they're called. Yep. Out of Connecticut. Shapethrower never gets to go to Connecticut, so like when we got offered that show, we were fucking hyped. Yeah. So yeah, got a lot of stuff going on. I'm definitely
That's
hyped
awesome.
to keep the Shapethrower train running because I feel like a lot of people think that that's like my second side project band, but it's definitely become equally as important to me for sure.
Nice.
So
That's awesome.
yeah, I'm a busy guy. I got a lot going on.
Nothing wrong with that. That's always good. being busy in a band is always fun.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, that's all we've got for this episode. So
Yeah.
those fun 5 questions.
I like.
Yeah. So obviously you said you have a show coming up on Friday, which is cool, right? You said Friday?
Saturday at Bad Burger.
Okay. Cool.
How was that
That's
place?
awesome.
Have either of you guys gone?
I haven't been there for a show. I've been there for plenty of burgers, and it is like a pretty cool setup. It's right there on Elm Street, like when you walk in the door on the left, they just have like stage area. Like it'll definitely be seen from outside, which is wild. I won't be there. I have a wedding that day, but it's going to definitely.
That's fine. Get that money.
Absolutely. And well, I'm just attending wedding, but on Friday I am now shooting Fit for an Autopsy.
Oh yeah, which is sick.
At the Palladium. Yeah, which is absolutely insane. I'm very
you're getting some great gigs lately, dude. Good for
Thank you. Yeah, it's the biggest shout out to their New England media group. It's these 2 guys, Justin and Nick. Like any shows that they've been doing that they can't get to or they know that I would definitely want, they've been sending my way, and it's been incredible.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah, keep it going, man. That's good shit.
Thank you.
I love seeing people win. That's the best thing. People that actually
sure.
want, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. Yeah. So obviously you 2 are gonna have a fun weekend, so that's gonna be sweet.
Yeah.
Two really cool things. I wanted to go to that Fit for an Autopsy show, but I'm not gonna be able to make it, which sucks, but that's okay. You'll have a blast at it. So that'll be fun.
I also really wanted to go, but we have to rehearse. So
yeah.
If I want to be in Fit for an Autopsy spot someday, I have to fucking put in the work.
Exactly.
That's what I tell myself, and not you're a loser. You should go to that show.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Well, cool.
But thank you, Matt, for being on episode 3 of the Angry Advocate podcast.
Much appreciated, guys. This is fucking awesome.
Yeah, for sure. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I guess that's the end of number 3. Should be a fun weekend for both you guys, which will be nice. And yeah, we'll be setting up episode 4 here at some point, which will be fun. And yeah, I guess we'll just kind of end it here. So yeah, thanks, Matt. I appreciate you coming on. It was a blast.
Thank you.
Definitely have a good weekend. Hope the shows go well, and hopefully someday maybe we'll play a show with you guys at some point. So
yeah, definitely. I would love to, man.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Cool. Well, that's it for this episode 3. We're gonna sign out, but everybody have a good rest of the night, and we'll catch you guys at episode 4. So yeah, Matt, see you later, and
see you guys.
Everybody have a good night.